The Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant was just relaunched with a bunch of new benefits, but is this card done enough to dethrone the king of hotel credit cards, the Hilton Aspire? Well, we are gonna find out, because in this video, I'm going to do a full comparison of the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant to the Hilton Aspire. And then I'll get into some situations of some different types of people who would prefer each of these credit cards. And ultimately, I'll come to a conclusion on which of these credit cards is best. So if you were looking for a hotel credit card, then you were in the right place, because these two credit cards are the two very best hotel credit cards. And I'm going to be explaining to you which of these cards is best and why. So as always, we're just going to jump right into the video. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe down below, as it helps support the channel and I would really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Alright, so I'm going to be comparing the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant to the Hilton Aspire across a couple of different categories, so that you can see which of these cards is going to be more appealing to you based on what factors are important for you when you choose a new credit card. So the first category in which I'll compare these two credit cards is going to be based on their annual fees, welcome bonuses, and point multipliers. If we start with the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, this card now has a pretty high annual fee of $650 after that fee was increased by $200 during the revamp on this card a couple weeks ago. So yes, the annual fee did increase during the revamp on the Bonvoy Brilliant, but so did a bunch of the other benefits, including the welcome bonus. The Bonvoy Brilliant is currently offering an elevated welcome bonus of 150,000 Marriott points when you spend $5,000 or more in the first 3 months of having the card. The points guide currently values Marriott points at 0.8 cents per point, which would mean that those 150,000 bonus points would have a value of $1,200. And since this card has an annual fee of $650, the value that you get from the welcome bonus on this card would almost be enough to cancel out the entire fee that you need to pay on this card during your first 2 years of having it. In terms of the point multipliers on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, you'll get 6x back at Marriott properties, 3x back on dining, 3x back on flights, and 2x back on everything else. But it is important to consider that those point multipliers are actually going to be a little bit lower, and that's simply due to the fact that Marriott has a lower point valuation. Now if we switch gears and get into the Hilton Aspire card, the Hilton Aspire card does have a lower annual fee of $450. The welcome bonus on this card is going to be to receive 150,000 Hilton Honors points if you were able to spend $4,000 or more in the first 3 months. The points guide currently values Hilton points at 0.6 cents per point, which would mean that those 150,000 Hilton points would give you a value of $900. Since the annual fee on the Hilton Aspire card is $450, this would mean that the value that you get from the welcome bonus would cancel out the entire fee that you need to pay on this card during the first 2 years of having the card. The point multipliers on the Hilton Aspire card are going to be 14x back at Hilton properties, 7x back on flights, 7x on car rentals, 7x on US restaurants, and 3x on everything else. But it is important to consider, again, that those point multipliers are actually going to be a little bit lower, and that's because of Hilton's 0.6 cent point valuation. One thing that I do want to mention about both the Hilton Aspire card and the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant is that the points that you earn on the welcome bonuses and point multipliers are going to be Hilton and Marriott specific, so they aren't going to be as valuable, and you won't have as much flexibility as you would have with regular Chase or American Express points. But with that being said, if we recap our comparison for this category, the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant is going to have the higher annual fee, but you also will get more value from the welcome bonus with that card, and then the Hilton Aspire card is going to give you better adjusted point multipliers. Alright, if we move on to the next category that is going to be used to compare the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant with the Hilton Aspire card, the next category is going to be specific tangible credits that can be used to lower the effective fees on these credit cards. If we go ahead and start with the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, the main credit that you'll get with this credit card that can help to lower your effective fee was also just changed a couple weeks ago during the revamp, because it used to be a $300 Marriott property credit, and now it is going to be a $300 dining credit, which is going to be split up into $25 monthly increments. And unlike the dining credit on the AMEX Gold, for example, in which you can only use it for specific restaurants, the dining credit on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant can be used for any purchases at any restaurants worldwide. In addition to this, you'll have the opportunity to earn another $100 credit, and that is going to be a $100 Marriott property credit, but you'll only get that credit if you book a stay of 2 or more nights at a St. Regis or Ritz-Carlton property. So it's going to be a bit tougher to use that $100 property credit, but it should be pretty easy to use that $300 dining credit, considering that you can use that credit for literally any restaurant worldwide, and that credit can help to lower your effective fee on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant down from $650 to just $350. Next up is the Hilton Aspire card, and the Hilton Aspire card is going to give you multiple different specific credits that can help to lower your effective fee on the card. The first credit is going to be a $250 airline fee credit, and this credit can be pretty useful, especially considering you can use it for things like check bags and food and entertainment on your flight. Additionally, you'll also get a $250 Hilton Resort Credit, which is probably going to be the best credit that you get with this card, because you can use it for any purchases that are related to your stay at a certain Hilton property. So you can use it for food, spa, excursions, and even in some cases, room upgrades. And part of the reason that this credit is going to be so useful is because if you were looking into getting the Hilton Aspire card in the first place, then you probably stay at Hilton properties at least a couple times a year. And so if you do so, then you can definitely maximize and take full advantage of this property credit. Finally, just like the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, the Hilton Aspire card will also give you a $100 property credit, but that's only going to apply if you book a stay of 2 or more nights at a Waldorf Astoria or Conrad property. So I think it's reasonable to expect that you could get the full $250 in value from the resort credit, and I think most people would be able to get at least $100 in value from the airline fee credit, which would give you a total value from those credits of $350. And if we consider that the Hilton Aspire card has an annual fee of $450, then the value from those credits could lower your effective fee on this card down to just $100. So if we recap our comparison of this category, the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant is going to give you enough value from the dining credit to lower your effective fee on that card down to just $350. But the Hilton Aspire card has multiple different credits that can help to lower your effective fee down to just $100. So because of that, I would give the edge to the Hilton Aspire card. If you were someone who's looking for a hotel card that could give you specific credits that can help to lower your effective fee. Finally, the last category that I'm going to use to compare these two credit cards is going to be intangible benefits. What I mean by intangible benefits is that since both the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant and the Hilton Aspire card are hotel credit cards, they're going to offer some benefits such as free night certificates, hotel statuses, and things like that that are going to be more difficult to tangibly value. If we start with the intangible benefits on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, the hotel status on this card was actually just increased a couple weeks ago during the revamp on this card. So now cardholders will receive Platinum Elite status, which will allow you to get things like free breakfast and free room upgrades. Additionally, probably the best intangible benefit on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant is going to be that free night certificate, which is now valued up to 85,000 points. Since Marriott points are typically valued at 0.8 cents per point, this free night certificate would give you a value on up to $680. So depending on how you redeem it, this one benefit alone could be worth more than the annual fee that you need to pay on this card every year. Finally, the Bonvoy Brilliant will also give you airport lounge access via Priority Pass and a credit for global entry or TSA PreCheck. If we move on to the Hilton Aspire card, the Hilton Aspire card is going to give you automatic Hilton Diamond status, which I've heard is super valuable because of the room upgrades. And I can speak from experience because I have Hilton Gold status, which is actually a step down from Hilton Diamond status, but I've still seen pretty consistent room upgrades, so I can only imagine the type of room upgrades that you'd get on Hilton Diamond status. In addition to this, just like the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, the Hilton Aspire card will give you a free night certificate, but it will be completely uncapped, unlike the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, which has that cap at 85,000 points. So you could use this free night certificate to stay at any Hilton property worldwide, even some of the really high-end ones like the Hilton properties in the Maldives. Finally, just like the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, the Hilton Aspire card will give you lounge access via Priority Pass. If we recap our comparison for this category, a lot of the intangible benefits on the Hilton Aspire and the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant are going to be pretty similar, but I would give a slight edge to the Hilton Aspire card, and there's a couple reasons for that. First, the free night certificate is going to be capped at 85,000 points for the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, whereas on the Hilton Aspire card, that free night certificate is completely uncapped, which opens the door for you to use that certificate at some of the really high-end resorts. And then I might be a little biased because I am a Hilton loyalist and I do have the Hilton Surpass card, but I think the Hilton Diamond status that you get on the Hilton Aspire is going to be way more valuable than Marriott Platinum Elite status. But now for the most important part of this video, let's get into some situations of different credit card users who would have preferences towards each of these credit cards. First off, this is probably pretty obvious, but if you're a Marriott loyalist, then go with the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant. And if you're a Hilton loyalist, then go with the Hilton Aspire card. If you think the $650 annual fee on the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant is just too much to stomach, especially if you already have some higher annual fee credit cards in your setup like the AMEX Platinum, then I'd definitely go with the cheaper alternative of the $450 Hilton Aspire card. If you want some more general credits towards everyday spend, then this could be one reason to get the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, because you'll get that $300 dining credit. And then if you go on some more luxury trips, and so you're able to use that free night certificate at a high-end property, then you'd probably go with the Hilton Aspire card, because again, the free night certificate on that card is completely uncapped. But in conclusion, if I had to make a decision on which credit card is best, then I think the Hilton Aspire card is still the king of hotel credit cards. In another video that I made in which I discussed why I think the Hilton Aspire card is the very best hotel credit card, I came to the conclusion that all of the benefits on the Hilton Aspire card, including the airline and resort credit, Hilton Diamond status, and free night certificate, would give you a total value of $1,500. And so even if the Hilton Aspire card had the same annual fee as the Bonvoy Brilliant of $650, well then I would still go with the Hilton Aspire card. So the fact that the Hilton Aspire card only has an annual fee of $450 just makes this card an absolute steal, and it is clearly the very best hotel credit card. But let me know down in the comments if you disagree and what you think is the best hotel credit card. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.